Audio House Dublin.
Yeah, so welcome to the Sold Out Podcast, episode 48. Here with C High. It's a pleasure to have you, man.
Thanks for having me.
I've been meaning to have you on for a while. I just wanted to get the right time.
Yeah.
So obviously with Thoughts dropping and the album coming soon, I was like, all right, I'll get him on now because obviously I've had a busy, kind of like we were just talking off camera, busy week or busy 2 weeks in the last thing. So things are really picking up. So kind of how are things going at the moment? And
Pretty good, yeah. I wasn't planning on doing a lot of this kind of radio and podcasts and stuff. It just kind of happened like after the GPO. I was kind of in touch with Beta and RT Pulse, and he had me on, and then it just kind of snowballed from there. But it's good to be out and doing things and
exactly. Because the first song I ever came across was Love, and that blew me away at the time. I was like, love that tune. And it was only afterwards then, because in my mind it's a little bit different to most of your stuff in a way. And then when I kind of came across you on the GPO lineup, I revisited your tracks, and obviously you're a perfect fit for that lineup. Like, it was a really good choice. How did that go down, like that gig and everything?
It was really good actually. I was really nervous, or not so much nervous as just like
blown away
this is
by
surreal. I was standing in the GPO, it's crazy. But it went really well. I went up and I did it, and all the other acts were great and stuff. I got good reception. So.
Yeah, exactly. And like for the spoken word stuff, would you kind of have a preference of performing that over hip hop or anything? Or
it's different. It's different. Like it's. I think with the spoken word stuff, people are a lot more attentive. I think generally you're just having more attentive crowds. So I think with the spoken word stuff, kind of every word has to kind of hit and has to mean something. You know? So it's different. I mean, I like having a crowd that's kind of listening to everything you say, because I feel like when there's music going and there's a big audience, sometimes the lyricism gets lost a little bit. Yeah, true. And that's with me, the big thing is
exactly
kind of lyrics for me.
Because your lyricism is insane. There's so many lyrics that are like just really, you put words in a way that's just really relatable. You know, that kind of way. It's just it's quite accessible and it's quite raw. I think it just speaks to what people in Ireland kind of are experiencing, you know, especially at our age and stuff. Do you find, because there's some tunes there that are quite even like political and quite socially conscious, so because I know you're coming from Cavan, do you think it's kind of different up there than it is in Dublin, that you see a lot of Dublin MCs doing, or do you think that has any role in it or that at all, or is it just down to it is different. It is different. Like, I have written songs about growing up in like a rural setting and things like that, but they just kind of never made it to recording. So I've some of that stuff. But like obviously there's just this kind of small town attitude, small town politics and all that kind of stuff. Like, it's like there was like a lot of people giving out because there wasn't many people voting in Cavan. I mean, even across the board, I think it was only like 20%.
Yeah, there wasn't much at all across Ireland. But like, actually in Cavan, when you look at the candidates that were there, there was nobody. There was literally no one. Like, there was no one that kind of stands for your best interest. It was all Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael. I think there was like 4 or 5 different Fianna Fáil candidates.
Same shite. Like,
you know what I mean? Like, competing for the same constituency. So it was a bit mad. Like, so I think people are more kind of disenfranchised up there almost, just because there's less
infrastructure and
of course, and
that,
just less of a difference in opinion and the way things should be run. I think it's all very like Fianna Fáil. He's a local man kind of thing. You know what I mean? So they're not going to
and that kind of bleeds down into probably like everything. Like I think. How do you think you kind of got your start in hip hop then? Is that kind of like maybe like the inner rebellion against that sort of mentality, or?
Probably so. I mean, look at like kind of Bet was saying the same thing. I've had people saying it all the time. It's like it's kind of strange to see somebody from Cavan coming down rapping. I think so. I think like I've always listened to rap music and hip hop music. I actually started playing the guitar and singing, and then rap just I kind of introduced it, and then it just kind of took over and became what I was doing mainly. But it's a lot of that. I think it's actually exactly that what you said. It allows you to just kind of say things in a straight out kind of way.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, you just say what you feel, say what you think.
And even more so, because I was going to ask, coming from, because I don't have a huge background in spoken word, like where is there an actual kind of definition that divides spoken word and hip hop, or do you kind of divide it in your own terms?
Yeah, it's a blurred line,
you know what I
because there's a lot of I first got introduced in spoken word in Ireland by, like, I mean, I wrote poems and stuff, but I first got introduced in the spoken word scene by Emma O'Brien.
Yeah.
Shout out Emma O'Brien. He's a good mate of mine. But so, like, when I went to see his stuff, I had him at a couple of shows and stuff. He was at the Vagary launch night and night. He played at that. But his stuff is almost like, it's almost rapping without music, you know, like, and it's different because it's poetry, but there's a flow, you know. It's almost musical. It's musical to listen to it. So yeah, I mean, like, I kind of start writing and I'll decide when it's finished or halfway through whether it's going to be a spoken word piece or whether it's going to be a song.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't know before I write it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, there's a difference. It's a subtle difference. I guess it's just
kind of the writer's choice, really, I suppose.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I guess it's just whatever feels better.
Yeah.
If it just feels better, you standing and saying it with no music, or if you want to put a beat behind it.
I get you.
Yeah, I think the spoken word allows you to do things as well that you can't do in rap. Like, obviously, like with rap, it's all, like, I find myself like counting syllables and stuff.
It gets too technical sometimes. Maybe. Yeah.
And with spoken word, you can just like be just free writing almost.
And even with your hip hop music, it probably feels like you have to play more into persona. You know what I mean? And kind of go more in line with your project and with the brand, rather than the spoken word is kind of more like the people right in front of you. Like, you know, usually, you know, obviously is it the track Vagary? That's the spoken word piece.
Yeah.
Because like even that like kind of blew me away. I was like, the way it kind of comes full circle at the end and stuff is like so sick.
Thank you. That was actually one of the first spoken word pieces I actually performed as like a spoken word artist. Like, and that was one of the ones that I wrote, and it was meant to be a song.
Yeah.
And then I was like, nah, there's no music going on that.
Yeah. No, I think as you said, like just the message or something comes through a little bit clearer when there's just no music on that. It's just like, okay, you absorb that. It's like a nice, because interludes aren't always like the best part of a project, but in that case, it actually was like really stand out. Sorry, I'm getting really distracted by the fact that there's someone just right at the window there.
You're looking at.
He came all the way up to the window and then just walked away. That was really weird. He's walking all the way away now. I don't know what that was. Like, that was really weird.
Yeah, that was strange.
Yeah.
Hi guys.
Oh no, we're getting
trying to get in on the window. I was like that, standing out there a few minutes ago.
Oh, stop. But yeah, I suppose talk to me even a little bit about off key and stuff, because what you guys doing are sick. Obviously, you've just dropped the video for Sorry with blanket on his name. The video.
Dara O'Neill.
Yeah. So it's not just kind of hip hop artists and spoken word artists. It's like
no. Well, we have all sorts. Like obviously there's Odd Numbers producer. He kind of co-founded it with me and Kilo, and Kilo is branching off totally now. Like he wanted to do music. He wanted to be a rapper, and I think he still wants to do that kind of stuff. He's still featuring in my songs and stuff, and he works on a couple of his own. But he wants to start a clothing line. So that's his
that's
his thing now. So I think it's kind of just, we're all just kind of creatives, and we all just kind of help each other with our projects and just like, you know, give each other opportunities and try to help build each other up. Like it's kind of the same way as what the community's doing as a whole, but just like on a smaller scale.
Yeah,
we just give each other big outs like.
Yeah, I was going to say, even it's like, it's interesting because like the Anomaly movement out of Waterford as well is kind of similar, where it's like even painters and like all sorts that they try and incorporate in. So like even that was the idea behind Ourselves as well, from like a Dublin point of view, is like trying to talk to the videographers behind the artists and trying to talk to like absolutely everyone that's kind of like really pushing the scene, you know. So like I like that attention to detail.
Because it's not just, you know, I think people kind of look at the rap scene and they just look at rap artists, and there's so much more behind that. Like it's like it's a culture, like, do you know what I mean? Yeah. So the clothes are part of it, and then obviously the graffiti shows and stuff are part of it. It's like there's so much. There's so
beat
much
battles, everything, like DJing, like it's crazy. Where do you think you do you have any like projects that you first listened to? Because you mentioned like you were just listening to hip hop as a kid. Was there anyone in particular that like even inspired your style or anything? Or
well, obviously everybody listened to Eminem. Growing up, and then Kanye. Yeah, I have to say Kanye.
Yeah.
Talked about Kanye.
I was going to bring him up there when. Yeah, I know, right? I was going to bring him up when you said the clothing thing, because it's kind of interesting that their little group is like. I don't know if you'd be too aware, but like Kanye is like friends with like Virgil Abloh and like Off-White and all that. Yeah. So it's kind of interesting. It always seems like the hip hop artists always hanging around with the fashion crew and vice versa and everything, you know.
Yeah. Who else?
What's your favorite Kanye album? That's the more important question, really.
I'm kind of a mood person. Like sometimes you're in the mood to just like stick on Yeezus.
Yeah.
Like it's hard. Like, and then I like 808s and Heartbreak. I like the other one, My Beautiful Dark. Twisted
Fantasy.
That one. Never get the words in.
I know. It's always like whenever I used to see, you know, when you get really used to seeing the abbreviation written down when people talk about it, it's like now I'm forcing myself to do it. MBDTF. I think. Yeah. And for ages, whenever like I had to write about it or anything, I would be like. Every time I had to like look at the album cover nearly and like double check I'm like spelling it right.
I actually really like Life of Pablo. And I think I actually talked to a lot of people that didn't like it, but I really like it, like kind of sonically, just like kind of like it's real atmospheric and kind of cool and like it's different from his other stuff. I really like that kind of the sound. Yeah,
I was kind of the same. I feel like it has a nice little like range of songs, like the way you just said, like with Kanye it's very like mood based. I find that album is quite, there's kind of mood, there's points on the album that kind of cater to nearly every mood, like it's still not maybe every mood, but it's more versatile than a lot of his albums, I feel like.
Definitely.
And even Ye like is similar, but I feel like that's gone back to like a particular theme, but it's interesting to see what he's doing. I'm kind of excited to see what like the next move is. Like
he's just a constant like news machine. Isn't he?
Exactly.
He's always up to something.
Because like I wonder if we're gonna get like a Kids See Ghost 2 or not and stuff like that. Because I've seen little like they're obviously doing a few tours here and there, but like if that ever came to Dublin, like
Kids See Ghost is fucking sick.
I
didn't know that was dropping. I actually didn't know it had dropped. I love Kid Cudi as well. And then when I went and when I actually found it and stumbled upon it, I was like, whoa, I didn't even know about this. This is sick. So that's really cool. Those two collabing are really, really good. Good mix.
And even like out of like Irish projects or anything, was there anyone, where was like the first time maybe you heard of anyone else like rapping in Dublin, or like was it all just kind of like you started out more internationally and you just started it yourselves?
I remember watching like Don't Flop. Years, like obviously there was a Don't Flop thing that was obviously very different to like the kind of thing I do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's always the way though. Just even like just a point that kind of got you like, you know, piqued your interest, or you know.
Of course. Like I said, I started rapping with the guitar, so it was a while before I started getting into beats and actually listening to Irish producers and stuff. Let me think what Irish artists.
Yeah, no, it is tough, like, especially going back, because I feel like we've had a real explosion, obviously, recently.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, I listen to nearly exclusively Irish music now. I find.
I know.
There's always an Irish artist that I want to listen to.
Once you go down that rabbit hole, like there is a lot of quality coming out of this country.
Yeah,
like,
it's so diverse and so colourful and so versatile. Like you can find any kind of hip hop here right now.
I don't know. Like I'm kind of finding at the moment that a lot of the Atlanta sound and a lot of the American sound has really started to sound the same. You know, it's like recently, even like we talked about, I think on last week's podcast, but like Igor by Tyler the Creator is like such a breath of fresh air compared to like everyone else is like sounds like Migos, sounds like Gucci Mane, sounds like they all sound the same now, and it's been like that for so many years.
Yeah, it's what like the trap sound just took off, and now like it's everywhere. Yeah. Everybody has it in their music. Like, like I do it.
Yeah, so you know, like it still slaps. Like I'll still like if Travis dropped a song tomorrow, I'd be all over it. But it's just I don't know, just when you hear so much of it, it's like it's starting to really like the cream of the crop is starting to really filter out, but there's a lot of noise still. You know,
I think that's actually why, like I said, like, I listen to kind of a lot of Irish artists now, and I think that's why, because I think it's actually a lot more diverse than you find in other scenes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and then speaking directly to like some of our issues and stuff like that.
Of course,
well,
yeah.
so.
Like it's relevant to what we're actually going through.
Yeah. No, it's like, because I only got into about like a year ago, like, and it's just the rabbit hole. Like, it's still, well, we're 48 episodes in, still discovering people for the first time. Still, it's like, it's crazy. Like, I think Mango said it recently enough, where he was like, there was a point in Ireland, obviously, where like anyone who wanted to be a rapper, even he would know. But now it's like people come up to him and are like, oh, you know, I'm like starting to be a rapper or something. Never heard of them before, and he's like, that's pretty cool. Like, you know.
Yeah, they're coming out of the woodwork now.
Yeah. And then, how long have you, like, did you kind of start producing, like, recently enough, or kind of what inspired that? Just
I started, like, I was mainly playing live instruments. Like, I started playing piano, and then I played guitar.
Yeah.
And then I started singing, and then I started rapping.
Yeah. What sort of music were kind of like got your like feet that kind of dipped in first?
It was actually
that's a horrible way of phrasing that question. That's really bad.
What kind of music got your feet dipped in?
What? Yeah.
Yeah, cut out each word.
Yeah, it was like an IKEA question, but it's a flat pack. Like,
no, I got it. I understood it. Yeah. Actually, like, strangely enough, it was actually kind of a folky kind of music I played first. It was really weird. Like people used to say, it was really weird because I was going up and playing like open mic nights and stuff, and I was playing basically like original songs, but like Mumford and Sons sounding songs.
Yeah.
And then I was dropping a rap in the middle of it, and like everyone was like, "What's going on here?
Yeah.
What is he doing? What's happening?"
Yeah.
But it was mostly kind of folky stuff. And then I had this thing for a while. I had a band. I got together when I started college. I met other people that played different instruments, and we had a band. With Wexford rapper Evolution. So me and him were rappers in the band, and we had a guitarist and a cajon player and a bass player and that. So we kind of did a thing that we called like folky Irish. What was it? It was like folky acoustic Irish hip hop or something. We kind of put that everywhere. It's like this new genre we were making. Yeah. And then I don't know. It's just a band kind of didn't really.
I find, from what I've heard, like just getting a band to sort of work is tricky. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so. It's a shared vision. Like, so you kind of. I mean, it's kind of like starting a podcast or starting anything else. Like you need to get everybody in the same room at the same in the same place, like at the same time.
And you have to manage like the different levels of like people's emotions, like throughout. Like if you're keeping it going long term, you know, it's just like it's tough. Like
and then obviously like it's financially more difficult for certain members of the band, and you know, like when you're just first starting out playing a band, you're playing original music, so like you're playing open mic nights and stuff and trying to get your name out there. You're not getting paid for it. So it's difficult kind of to keep everyone interested.
Yeah, no, totally. And that's interesting though, because I like the fact though that you have an interest in the live band aspect, because even went to see Rush's last night, I was saying before, and I really didn't expect he had like a live band for his set, because all of his stuff is like quite like, it's like very produced, you know what I mean? Like it's like on the studio version, so it was sick to hear like he had like these synthy guitars like doing like little like, you know, fills and stuff, and I was like, oh, like that is
of course,
that's nice. Like
no, I really like that. That's kind of where my ambition started with music. Like I always wanted to be in a band. You know what I mean? Since I was a kid, like I just like see myself in a band. But the production side kind of came from more like, well, like I can do all this myself, you know. And I can maybe just run it through someone to help me mix it. And then like I don't need to get a band together. So it was kind of for convenience. But we have Vantastival coming up, and for that I have FOB, who's another producer, and he's playing guitar for us. So we kind of have a bit of a kind of live
That's gonna be whopper. When's that actually? That's up in Cavan, isn't it?
It's in Drogehda. On Friday.
Friday coming. Deadly on. You're on you played that last year as well, didn't you? You were saying.
We played the Glasshouse stage, which is like a kind of small stage. But now we have one of the big stages. So
be a bit more fun, like.
You jump around a bit.
Not quite the GPO though at the same time as well. Like,
no, that was it. Like I don't know. I don't think I'll ever get over that experience. Like that was just amazing.
It's just strange, like, because I like walked past it earlier in the day as well to go to college, and I was like, is there really going to be a gig in there later? You know what I mean? Like it's just weird. Like it's just. strange.
I walked by it earlier on. I was like,
I know, it's just
played it
doesn't suit, like, and then because even like when God Knows came up with Nilo, and he was trying to get like a mosh pit started during one of his songs, like, but there was a big like posting table in the middle of the thing, so he went to like jump into the crowd, and people were like you know, right up against the table, like, it was just madness, like. But like everyone killed the performances, like, but like I think it was just that venue inspires you to fucking like go all in, I'd say.
Yeah, that's it. Like it's actually something incredible. Like,
I was going to say as well, just going back to the band aspect, I suppose it's handier with a collective because everyone still has like their own thing going on as well. So it makes it a little bit more relaxed in terms of working towards.
Yeah, you only come together when you need to. Yeah,
so and just kind of like helping each other out.
Yeah.
Do you kind of look for, like, are you still looking for anything in particular, or anything in terms of the collective? Or are you like, or are you just kind of happy with like the team you're working with now, or kind of how's it working?
Well, we're always looking for more people. Like, you know, Killian has his Kilo has his clothing line idea that he wants to do, but he wants to collaborate with artists. So like we were in talks with Scott Hall Designs. Shout out Scott Hall Designs. But
mutual friend.
Yeah, he was kind of in talks with him with saying like, oh, like we can kind of give you a line or whatever and get a few designs down, and we work with different visual artists, and then also even like music artists as well if they want to like design some stuff, and you know, we'll collab with them. So that's our kind of vision for that, is to just collab with loads of artists. So, and it's not even just that, like we're always looking for, you know what I mean, just people that like want to take pictures and make videos.
Exactly. Yeah. No, it's important. Like you kind of need to have a team of like well-rounded, like, but it's really inspiring in Dublin now. You have so many, like, you have enough freelance people to put these things together, you know, and like everyone's, all the different cliques and all the different artists coming out, like everyone has like a team, and it's you would never have thought like 5 years ago that there are that many photographers, or there are that many videographers and stuff, you know. It's pretty crazy, like.
And I think it's gotten like everybody's talking, you know, everybody's talking to each other. Everyone knows someone who's doing this and someone who's doing that. So like even if you didn't want to work with the same artist twice or the same photographer twice, if you're like a person that wanted to always mix it up, like it's very easy for you to do that, to find people.
And even internationally and stuff as well, because you know, send those emails out and like hopefully get a verse or something. But is there anything that you want to shout out? Obviously, before we get into Thoughts Part 1 in particular, do you have a release date for the album?
We haven't actually got a release date yet. It was we were hoping it'd be released.
Yeah,
fair. But obviously there was exams, and then everyone has personal stuff going on. But we're thinking like sometime in June, like early to mid June.
Still pretty soon though, so like keep an eye out.
We want to make sure, like we've realized that you know, you really need to, you know, for like Spotify, you know, for the Spotify playlist and things like that, and just for being able to promote something effectively before it comes out, you need to kind of have it finished and then have a space of time before you release. Yeah. Where we were kind of getting caught up in like this is the date we decided, so we're gonna make sure it's done for this date, and then it's rushed, and then it's like you know what I mean.
I was gonna say, just when you started saying that, you know, you kind of wanted it out now, it's like the extra time will always probably pay off actually in the long run, because you'll have that extra time to just think of like a new way to promote it or something.
And even between like last week I think was the date we were planning for, and even between then and now I've like had ideas and been like, I want to throw this into the album, I want to throw that in. So it's always good to have a bit of time.
Yeah, no, 100%. But yeah, man, Thoughts Part 1. Obviously talk to us a little bit about that track, like the background behind it and stuff.
So it's kind of it was kind of stream of consciousness, kind of. It was one of those songs where I just kind of had a feeling, I was just in a mood.
That's one thing I was really fascinated with, because some of your tracks are quite like that, I find, and then some of them seem very meditated and very kind of like built up, like you've been waiting to say this, you know what I mean, as well. So do you have kind of like, what's your usual writing process, or do you kind of have one?
Well, yeah, it's always like, I'm always kind of trying to nail down a process so that I can like
replicate it,
revert back to, but it never really works out that way.
Yeah.
Like, it's there's a million different ways they can come to you, and then I could spend days on a song, on like 3 verses and write a hook, and then be like, this is fucking shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I spent so long on this that it's like it's just played out by now.
Yeah.
But yeah, Thoughts was one of those ones that I literally just like I just wrote the first word and then I just kept writing.
Yeah.
It just kind of fell out of me.
Yeah.
I find those like there was like This Is Ireland as well was
I was gonna say
one of those. Obviously it was a response to something that happened the day before. And I just kind of wrote because I was pissed off. Like I woke up the next day and I was like, fucking bastards, can't believe they did this. And I was like, I was just writing really angrily. And I showed it to my girlfriend and she was like, you need to make that, like, you need to like make a beat for that shit. So I went and did it and released it that day.
Yeah, no, it's so good.
So yeah, like some like, I find I nearly enjoy those ones. I nearly enjoy those ones better because there's not a lot of like, oh, will I do this or will I do that? It's just, you know what you need to do.
Yeah, exactly. You know?
Yeah. So yeah, Thoughts part 1 is that kind of song. I was just in a certain mood at a certain time.
Yeah.
I made the beat. And then just row over it and rap over it and
because what I was gonna say as well is like it kind of sets up like obviously a nice little series. Like calling it part 1, was that like how intentional was sort of that, or you know what I mean?
I didn't decide until afterwards. And I was kind of like I like the vibe of this, and it's a bit different from like I think it's a bit different from the kind of stuff I usually do.
Yeah.
It's a bit more vibey, so I was like, there could be a Thoughts part 2.
Exactly, yeah.
Thoughts part 3. Because it was stream of consciousness, it was literally just what I was thinking at the time.
Yeah.
So it could, like, for the next project, it could be what I'm thinking at that time.
Exactly, yeah. Because I was thinking like it nearly reminds me of like one of those series like Ill Mind of Hobson or something, or you know what I mean, like that you could like keep throwing parts out for or something.
That's what I was thinking. I could go back to influences. Hobson's a big one, obviously. So that's
damn, like no, it's a crazy track, man. Like it's nice, like introspective, like spacey, like nice track to. So check that out. Obviously, if you haven't listened to it already. Between that and Sorry, do you think that paints a good picture of what's to come, or?
I wanted to kind of bring across the point that it's not all like doom and gloom. But that's kind of what the project is about. It kind of centers around mental health and like, you know, dealing with it and the importance of talking to people and being there for people and stuff like that. So it has quite a melancholic kind of vibe. But yeah, that is kind of pretty much that's the sound.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for it, man.
Make you sad.
Yeah. Excited to be sad. But yeah, so if you're at the festival on Friday, go by. Do you know what stage you're playing?
The Woodland stage. 8.
Yeah, because it'll be up before then. So go check See High out. And check out the album when it drops.
And Degradation of Imagination.
Yeah.
Keep an eye out.
And obviously stream Vagary and everything else that's out on Spotify right now. Follow Off Key Collective, everything else, stuff. You know, just keep going, like, you know. But yeah, man, I really appreciate your time for coming down. Everything.
Yeah, no, thanks.
Really appreciate it. But cheers, man.
Great having a chat.
You too. Thanks so much.
Good stuff.